COVID-19, better known as coronavirus, has spread throughout the world. There are a few ways to help lower the spread of this respiratory disease. Wash your hands. Avoid touching your face, including mouth, nose, and eyes. Cover your coughs and sneezes. Monitor your symptoms and consult with your doctor. Stay at home and away from other sick people except for medical care. Clean and disinfect high-touch surfaces. For more information, please visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Thank you.
Well. Welcome to the solo. What's up, Tora?
What?
Welcome to the Solo Ant Show. I'm your host, Expected Ant, and I'm with my co-host, Redneck Romeo. How you doing?
Yeah, well, doing swell. I gotta practice more on that.
Yeah, you gotta practice your redneck accent, the southern accent.
I gotta try to make it as racist sounding as possible.
just sound like Joe Exotic.
Well, you ain't that gay.
Like if it wasn't for the fact that he was gay, I'm pretty sure he would have been a racist.
Probably.
He sounds like it.
Yeah.
But I'm first of all, I'm never conforming. I'm never conforming for anybody. I will never wear a suit. I'll never cut my hair. I'm gay. I'm broke as shit. I got this bitch in Florida trying to take me out of business. Vote for me for governor of Oklahoma.
Well, speaking of which, did you know that Nicolas Cage is playing him?
Yeah, you told me last week.
Yeah. Well, I don't know too much about it. I just heard from YouTube and everything that they're doing a based on a true story film or based on true events film, and Nicolas Cage will be portraying the infamous Tiger King himself. That's gonna be interesting, especially with Nick Cage with his mullet. I'm sure he can pull that off.
So it's not gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a TV show.
Oh, TV show.
Yeah.
So, bro, what are we going to talk about this Monday day?
Well, recording on a beautiful Monday evening. It's May 11th, 2 days before my birthday. I'm about to have a 14th birthday this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Email you your birthday cake.
Yeah. Instead of going to the strip club, I'm just gonna go on Pornhub.
Now, let's say if you weren't in quarantine, what would you plan or want to do for your birthday?
If we weren't in quarantine, I'll probably take like the week off and like maybe go to Vegas or something.
Yeah. A whole Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a lot of days, dude. 3 days of Vegas, I'm good. Like, I want to go.
Well, no, because maybe not. I probably would have, because my birthday's on a Wednesday this year, so I probably would have did over the weekend. Probably go to Vegas over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right.
Celebrate. But instead, I'm gonna have a quarantine birthday. So I might buy myself like a slice of cake, and at least I got alcohol I can drink, and yeah.
I can sing you a Filipino happy birthday song. Hold up, bro. Sayong inumin, sayong pulutan. Happy birthday. Kung saan mo kami manasing, yeah.
That's it.
You want me to translate it? It just means happy birthday. For you use the drinks, for you use the food, and then towards the end is until you get us drunk or something. It's a drunk happy birthday.
Wow.
Why did you laugh? Because it sounded funny.
Yeah.
All
It didn't
right.
even sound. It didn't even sound Filipino though. It sounded like we're watching that wrestling. They had that guy sing the Russian national anthem.
You sound Russian. All right, cool. So, Mr. Inspector, what will we be talking about this Monday day?
All right. Well, last week we did the worst superhero movie ever made, and this week we're doing the best superhero movie ever made. We're gonna talk about the Dark Knight. So it was basically brought to my attention. Shouts out to Call. I don't know if that's your real name, but that's your name on Tumblr. So shouts out to
ELL call.
yeah Call. So shouts
Call.
out to Call. But yeah, he reminded me that we did the Batman Begins review last year.
Yeah.
And we promised we were going to review the whole entire Nolan trilogy, but we just never got around to it. So finally, we did Dark Knight, and if you're lucky, next year we could do Dark Knight Rises.
Before we start, all this talk about like the Dark Knight and like the new Batman film coming out, I've been touching base with my Arkham Asylum games, trying to get that, Riddler
Yeah,
trophy collected
yeah.
100%.
I told you, I restarted. I decided to replay Arkham Knight.
Night.
Yeah, and I forgot how frustrating that game is at times.
You know what's the most frustrating? Just real quick, but most frustrating part of the Dark Knight or of the Arkham Knight game is that it's that Riddler, the Riddler challenges. It's like you have no choice but to go through them with your Batmobile at times. I mean,
Well, for
85%
me,
of the time
the
you're on your
most
Batmobile, actually.
Somebody said for me the most frustrating thing about the whole entire game is the over reliance on the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do we have to use the Batmobile for every fucking mission?
Right.
And it's like you beat one mission with the Batmobile, and it's like you got to do the same mission all over again, but with more shit. And the Batmobile is like, why we constantly in the Batmobile? Like, why can't I just fight this man, like head up? Especially Arkham Knight. Like, why can't I just fight the Arkham Knight head up? Why I gotta keep doing all these Batmobile challenges? And so it's just frustrating. Like, how many times we gotta use the fucking Batmobile? It's like the Spider-Man game. My biggest beef with that game.
I haven't played it yet.
Oh, well, even still, like my biggest beef with that game.
Without spoiling
It's not even okay. Without spoiling, my biggest beef with the game though is the Mary Jane challenges. It's like, why do I got to be Mary Jane? Like, you're just slowing down the game.
Does she strip for you if you complete some of the challenges?
Nah, she's your typical girlfriend. Like, everything that Peter does, she just like bitches at you the whole game.
Goodness gracious!
When you play the game, you actually feel like you're in a relationship with her as much as she bitches at you. It's like, God, dude, fuck, like, just leave me alone. I'm saving the world right now. Like, stop bitching at me.
I've saved your life like numerous times, and
it's like, bitch, it's not about you. Okay, it's about the world. I'm trying to save the world. Stop bitching. Like, if you ever get a chance to play the DLC, where you gotta fight Black Cat, Mary Jane's also annoying in that because like she makes you feel guilty that you and the Black Cat used to fuck, but it's like, bitch, we weren't even together at the time. Like, you feel like you're dating Mary Jane in real life as much as she bitches in that game.
And you know what Peter Parker would tell Mary Jane, right? Once you go black, you'll never go back. Black Cat.
Yeah, but Felicia's white.
I know, that's her name. It just went over your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? We should actually, and before we start again, we just to cut this game part short, we should actually do a review on like some of the Arkham games, starting from like the very first Arkham game, Arkham Asylum.
That's gonna be tough though.
How's it gonna be tough? Because you're gonna have to replay it again.
Well, first of all, I gotta find where to buy the game.
Can't you purchase it on your PS4, PSN?
Did they ever make a PlayStation 4 version of that game?
Yes, they did, sir. And that's how I'm playing it.
You playing the first one?
I'm playing both. because actually they re-released the it's like a remastered version for the PS4. Only Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and of course Arkham Knight was the first PS4 Batman game. But I
So
definitely,
they don't have Arkham Origins.
that's one of my favorite ones actually. Arkham Origins. I think Arkham Origins is underappreciated from the Arkham games. But I don't know. You guys tell us. Let us know. Let us know if you've got your chance to getting involved in some of these Arkham Batman games, and let us know if you want us to do a review, and then we'll try our best to do one. Are you snoring?
No, it's my dog.
So anyway,
All right, so the Dark Knight. So we're gonna review the Dark Knight. So yes, like I was saying, call came to our attention. Let us know. So shout out to Call. But here's our Dark Knight review. So we watched the Dark Knight this weekend, and I enjoyed it. It's considered one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. It's actually voted one of the best movie of the decade of the 2000s, and it was also voted to the 15th greatest movie in film history. So this movie is in high regard. One of the things that I loved about this movie is that I'm not sure if I said it on the pod, but I know I've said it to you that I've been rewatching The Wire. And the great thing about this movie is that it doesn't feel like a comic book film. It feels like a cop drama that just happens to have Batman in it. Like you could take The Wire and drop this version of Batman, and it will still work because that's what this movie is. Like it's not a comic film; it's a cop drama, and Batman just happens to be in it. And that's what I really like about it. Like they make you feel like the Joker, Two-Face, Batman could all fit in the real world. And like the whole time you're watching it, you never feel like you're watching a comic book film. You just feel like you're watching a serious cop drama that just happens to have the Batman in it. And that's what I really liked about the film. Another thing too I liked about the film is that when we talked about Avengers Endgame, one of the things I hated about that movie was that it was 3 hours long, but there was like a huge lull in the middle of the movie. Like you just like there's parts in the movie where you just felt you were bored, like nothing much was going on. And I feel like they could have cut some of that game. They could have cut some of that down, but in this movie, like this movie is 3 hours long.
Excuse me?
Did I stutter, motherfucker?
You ain't talking about the end game, now, are you?
Yes, I am.
Talking shit about America and his band of superheroes. Oh hell no, dude! I think everything about Endgame it's a long film, but I think everything in the film is relevant. But
I'm just saying though. Like there were times. There was times in the movie where I got bored watching it.
What part of Endgame were you bored?
Like the entire middle of the movie.
What part was it though?
Like the whole movie to the end. Like I was bored. It's like the end of the movie. But this movie, it was the same length of time. It was 3 hours long, but I was hooked from beginning to the end. There was never any part of the movie where I was bored. Like Chris Nolan did a great job of keeping me hooked and engaged in the entire movie. There was no point in the movie where I felt bored, and I feel like the movie was well written. It was well directed. And just everything about this movie was great. Like I have my only negative about the movie was Rachel, and I just felt like they could have found somebody that looked hotter than Maggie Gyllenhaal to play Rachel, because like I didn't.
Reason why you're not into the actress Gyllenhaal is because she looks like her brother.
Joker. She does.
She looks like the Joker.
No, she looks like
Mysterio.
Yeah, Mysterio.
I get those two confused sometimes.
Well, that's because they fucked each other in Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, the Joker. Yeah, that's why the Joker and Mysterio had a little fling.
Yeah. So I can't quit you. But yeah, she does. Like why? Like why? And I kept watching the whole time watching the movie. Like why are these men fighting over this bulldog faced bitch? And I was like, this bitch look like Droopy Dog, and I'm supposed to believe like I don't know. To me, she's just too ugly for like dudes to be fighting over. They should have just kept. They should have just kept Katie Holmes.
I'm sure there was like an issue with Katie Holmes at the time. Either she had to do another film,
There
or
there
she got
was
fired, or something.
there was like a scheduling conflict. She was filming. I had it here. Yeah, she was filming this movie called Mad Money, and Mad Money happened to be filming the same time as the Dark Knight, and so for some reason she decided to leave. She decided to do this movie with Queen Latifah instead of doing the Dark Knight, and instead they casted Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Have you ever seen the movie Mad Money?
Nah,
Does it even look interesting at all?
I mean the fact that Queen Latifah's in there, I already know it's not gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
She's only been in one good movie, and that was Set It Off.
Set it off. Set it off. Yeah, that was a good movie.
But okay, so what were your thoughts on this masterpiece known as The Dark Knight?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to agree with you. As far as like one of the best, not only superhero films, but just film, etc. It's just, I think one of the best superhero films ever made. Like best storytelling. The pacing was good as far as like the length of the film. I mean, I felt like it was even more than 3 hours, like 3.5 hours even, right? You know what I mean?
No, it was just 3 hours, 3 hours long.
Or 3 hours long, and I compared the length time with extended lengths of films like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. And as much as I'm also a fan of the Lord of the Rings franchise and chapters, there are times when I find myself a little bit bored in some parts of Lord of the Rings and also like in Star Wars, especially Star Wars, the prequels. There are some, I consider that like a guilty pleasure. As far as like, a lot of people don't like it, but I'm like one of the few percenters that actually love the prequels. There are times, I have to admit, when I find.
Well, sorry to cut you off.
Like
But people. No, I was gonna say like people. No, I was say that people originally liked the prequels, but it's like retroactively they not hate it for some reason.
Yeah, everyone loved the prequels. Like from the
time.
Point, at the time, they're like, "Oh, this is the best." George Lucas did it again. Star Wars, Clone Wars. Oh, this is the best. George Lucas did it again. And then after Revenge of the Jedi, okay, that was good. George Lucas did it again. 10 years later, oh, I hate this film. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, George Lucas sucks.
I hate this film. You hate this film too? I hate this film. Like everyone's a sheep following the herd of haters to this. Like this.
Yeah, somebody told me on Twitter that this movie sucks. So this movie has to suck.
Yeah. I don't need to watch it. I'm just gonna go by what this person, because this person's famous. So whatever this person says, I'm gonna follow. Anyway, back to like the comparisons between those two. Even though if I do like them, I don't love the prequels, but I do find myself bored at certain scenes of like the prequels of Star Wars, and I find myself enjoying every scene. It's like, just like you said, like every scene is gravitating. You do feel invested with every character, not just Bruce Wayne, not just Batman, not just the Joker, because he does steal all of the scenes. Heath Ledger, rest in peace. But also a lot of the other, side characters such as Lucius Fox, Alfred Pennyworth, Morgan Freeman, like all those guys, they steal some of the scenes as well. Two-Face is underappreciated. Like nobody thought that. Who's the actor who played Two-Face?
Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart. Thank you very much. No one thought too much about this actor. He just seemed like an average Joe coming into this big franchise, and when he actually
Well,
transformed
especially
that's
especially when you find out the sorry about that. Especially when you find out about the people that he beat for the role. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, he beat out some prominent names for that role.
all I know is the films prior to if it's prior or after the Dark Knight was this one film that he did was Thank You for Smoking. That was one of the films that he was.
I think that was after.
Was
I
it
know
after?
I know he was in I know he was in Nurse Betty. If you remember that movie.
Nah, see, he wasn't really a well-known, I guess, actor at the time. But just being just playing Harvey Dent, both, he seems like a nice guy as Harvey Dent, and as Two Face, you can see the transition between the two characters, and I love that. I love that, but I love the transition and how he portrayed both characters, Harvey Dent and Two Face. So yeah, I love it. I mean,
I'm glad that you brought that up too, because that was another thing I loved about the movie too. Because normally, when they like Spider-Man 3, for example, where they took Eddie Brock in the
oh,
same movie,
stop.
they transformed him to like it was terrible. Because
Oh
normally
my,
when they try to transform a character midstream, it doesn't really land well. But in this movie, it was perfect. Like he was Harvey Dent for like 75% of the movie, and then
yeah.
at the end they transitioned him to Two Face. But it was done so well that they didn't fuck it up. Like it was perfect. Even though he was only Two Face for like at the end, but it was
Yeah.
still done very well.
Now, here are just a few gripes. I mean, a movie. I don't know if you find this movie to be perfect as far as you know, being filmed and how it's directed and everything. But the only gripe I have with the Nolan films is, ah, sometimes they kill off the villains too fast. And the death of like Two Face was a little bit. It was a little too early for me. It felt like the death of Black Mask in Birds of Prey. Like they killed him off too early.
Well, yeah, we could talk about that more when we do our Dark Knight Rises review. But I agree with
No,
you.
this is part of the Dark Knight because didn't he die in the end of the film?
Well, yeah, but I was just gonna say though, originally that wasn't the original plan because Aaron Eckhart he signed on to do 2 movies, and so the original plan was to have Two Face be the main villain in Dark Knight Rises. But for some reason, Christopher Nolan changed his mind and decided just to kill off Two Face. Like Two Face was not supposed to die at the end of this movie; he was supposed to come back.
And now is he really dead though? That's a question.
Well, see, that was supposed to be the cliffhanger. Like, is he really dead, or was he just knocked unconscious? And he was supposed to come
Because
back in
they
Dark
both
Knight
fell.
Rises.
They both fell.
Yeah,
Right.
but so he was supposed to come back during Dark Knight Rises, but then, like I said, Chris Nolan changed his mind and decided just to kill him off. But that wasn't really the original plan.
Now, in the Dark Knight Rises, was that really him in the coffin, or did they
Well,
just create a coffin?
I mean,
Just create-
the man, yeah, but okay. The only problem is that Dark Knight Rises takes place 8 years after Dark Knight, so it's hard to fake a death for 8 years. Like he would have popped back up sometime.
Well, that was
Some
just a
point.
memorial, I think, at the time, right? It was like some sort of
Yeah,
memorial.
so they were like celebrating like the anniversary of his death or some shit.
Right. I think Two Face is somewhere in Arkham.
And then that's when Bane. Well, if Two Face is somewhere in Arkham, then that means Bane would have released him when he released all the patients in Dark Knight Rises.
No, I think Two Face was like in some sort of like a straight jacket, like chained up somewhere, in Arkham, like a secret facility where it wouldn't be too easy for them to.
Because the perfect time to release him is when Bane is making that speech, talking about Commissioner Gordon lied.
Yeah.
He would have. So, so back to Aaron Eckhart though, like what you're saying though, like he was a known actor at the time, but he wasn't really. Well, I guess maybe for us, he wasn't that known because we don't really watch the movies that he does because he's looking at his resume. I guess you could call it. He's done a lot of romantic films.
Oh,
Yeah, but for the role, he beat out Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he beat
Woo!
out Hugh Jackman audition for the role, so Hugh Jackman could have possibly been Wolverine and Two Face.
Oh,
And he beat out Matt Damon. Now Hugh Jackman, because I'm so used to him seeing as Wolverine, I can't really picture him being Two Face. And then Matt Damon with that heavy Boston accent, I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him being Two Face either.
let me check out the coin real quick. Let me check the coin real quick.
Yeah. Now you want to die?
You want to die?
Want to die?
Man, his Boston accent is fucking crazy.
We
it just
gotta
sounds so
fly.
like
We gotta
it
find a
sounds
stop
so
way to stop the
rude.
Joker.
It sounds so rude. It's like the rudest accent. Like he's just trying to say something nice to you. Yeah, come over here. I just want to tell you something real quick. I'm like, damn,
Hey,
bro, why you so
come on.
aggressive?
Yeah, come over here. Let's talk in the car and figure out what we're gonna do here.
Hey, you want some coffee? Because you know it's kind of hot out there.
Now we gotta find a way to do something about these Joker killings. Now, this Joker fella, he's just out of control.
You know, I can't even picture Matt Damon like playing any superhero. To be honest with you.
Like instead of filming the movie, instead of the movie taking place in Gotham, it had to be in Boston.
Boston. But you know, Boston and New York accents are somewhat similar, as far
Now
as like
you can tell the difference.
it's all okay.
If
Well,
you go to the East Coast and say that, they will beat your ass.
oh shit.
Yeah,
So
they don't.
East Coast?
Yeah, that New England, New York thing it ain't no joke. They don't play about that shit.
Don't play about that shit.
You know, they'll take offense to you saying that their accents sound similar. But yeah, I couldn't really see. I wish Matt Damon did get the role just so I could see how he would do. But with that accent, I can't really picture him being Two Face.
No, you know what? I think they really need to find like a like somebody who can play a nice guy. You know, like someone like an actor who looks like he could never do anything wrong and can still have this professionalism in him.
Well, yeah, that's Matt Damon. It's just his accent.
Nah, but as far as the accent part, because if you listen to like how is it Eckhart, how Eckhart like transitions his voice with Two-Face, you know, it's like if you close your eyes and just like tune up your ears a little bit, it's like you're listening to two different people. And
Yeah.
I like about that. Yeah, I really like the transition. He really played that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde vibe. So that was interesting to me. Now let's talk about why so serious. The Joker.
The Joker.
Well, I mean, let's talk about what everyone's been talking about already. I mean, what are your thoughts about the Joker? And how
Well,
people
I thought what you gonna say?
No, what were your thoughts about him and how people misjudge the actor playing the role before the film even came out?
Well, yeah. So with Heath Ledger, there was a lot of backlash when they announced it. This is actually pre-social media, so there would have been even more backlash if that shit happened today. But a lot of people were mad because like they didn't think he would make a good Joker because they were so used to him playing. He was that teen heartthrob. Like he played in all those teen movies, like 10 Things I Hate About You and shit like that. So he was like that, teen heartthrob guy. And then when we started doing adult movies, he does like the gayest movie ever, Brokeback Mountain. And so people were like,
This is a Joker, huh?
Yeah, this is the Joker, huh? But he did a good job. And the only thing I could think of watching the movie, which is like just too bad, he wasn't alive to see how his work. This was like the last movie he filmed, and you just said that he had died while they're still in post production, so he never got a chance to see how good of a job that he did. But yeah, he did the Joker so well. That was another thing too, because like some of the people that auditioned for the role of Joker, you had Steve Carell, who played a 40-year-old virgin, and you had Robin Williams, and Heath Ledger did such a good job that I can't really picture anybody uh, else as the Joker.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, he beat out
Yeah.
Robin Williams. Now Robin Williams, to me, Robin Williams would have been the perfect Joker in the Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher universe.
Yeah.
I can't really see him being Joker in this universe. And then Steve Carell, the guy who plays the 40-year-old virgin. To me, I can't really see him as a Joker. I see him more as like a Mad Hatter or a Riddler.
I think Robin Williams would be a perfect Mad Hatter.
Yeah, if he was still alive.
If he was still alive, yeah.
What about 40-year-old virgin?
Carell? Steve
Yeah,
Carell?
because he auditioned, but he got
younger at
beat
the
out by
time.
Heath Ledger.
He was like around his 30s at the time, right? Or even younger. Yeah,
Well,
30.
he just did 40-year-old virgin, so I'm guessing he was 40.
At the time? I think
Or
it was.
he was playing 40.
No. Wait. The 40-year-old virgin movie was the same year and time when the Dark Knight.
No, 40-year-old virgin came out in 05. Dark Knight came out 08, so 3 years.
Okay.
He was actually 40. He was actually 46 at the time.
You know what? I don't know. Steve Carell, I think, would have been a great Joker at the time.
I don't know. To me, he looks more like a Mad Hatter or Riddler to me.
Right. Or Riddler. Yeah, Riddler.
Yeah.
You know what? To be honest with you, I can't even picture that many people playing the Joker nowadays. It's hard.
Yeah, because Heath Ledger was so good. I can't.
So good. You would think, like, how can you top this? Like, now everyone, this is how high the stepping stone is. Like, you gotta reach this height, to actually level up with Heath Ledger, and not that many have.
Yeah, like as good as Joaquin Phoenix was, like I still think Heath Ledger was better.
I think so too. Joaquin or Joaquin?
Joaquin.
Yeah. Joaquin.
He's a white guy. He's a white guy with a black guy name.
Black name. Yeah, Mr. Phoenix. Yeah, I think he did a great job as a Joker, but it was completely different. It was a different take, completely different from. But then again, all the Jokers that we've seen have been like a different take Joker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Jack.
Well, so far, every person to play Joker has won an Oscar except for the dude on Suicide Squad.
That's fucked up.
It's like if you play the Joker, you're almost guaranteed to win an Oscar.
Morbius, the new Morbius.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
It's so crazy. It's just I know I've noticed this, and everyone's been noticing this, but every actor gets to play both the Marvel and the DC character, except for Hugh Jackman
and Jack Nicholson.
Well,
Hugh Jackman, if he got the role of Harvey Dent, would have
been Harvey Dent, yeah. But you got like the Venom like Bane, Tom Hardy,
Michael Keaton,
Vulture, Batman, and then you've got like, the Joker guy, and Morbius guy. What's his name again?
I don't remember his name. That's why I said
freaking
Suicide Squad.
I for the Suicide Squad. But anyway,
I thought that was funny too. Like everybody that plays Joker wins an Oscar except for him.
But in all fairness, though, it's like people are just like backlashing and trash on the film only because they didn't like the film overall, and he happened to be in that film that not that many people liked, so they're pretty much blaming him for the failure of the film, or the failure of being the Joker when he practically didn't even have that many scenes being the Joker. He only had like a few minutes as a Joker throughout the whole film. I mean, this is a movie about the Suicide Squad, and yet people are still blaming him about his, about his performance as a Joker when you barely had that many time having him as a Joker. I mean, it's like Tom Hardy. Who's the other Tom kid? Spider-Man kid.
Tom Holland.
It's
They're both British.
It's like the whole Tom Holland thing. Like, he's great as a Spider-Man character in Civil War, but how is he as Spider-Man with when he's carrying on his own solo film? And yet they haven't given like the chance for the Joker to have his own solo film without with all this criticism. So I think it's unfair. I think he wasn't treated very well as far as him playing the role as a Joker. But,
I don't blame him. He just give.
What's up?
And plus, a lot of people. I said I don't blame. I don't think people blame him. I think they were just turned off. Not necessarily. I mean, he was doing what he was told to do as an actor. But I think people were just turned off by his appearance. They didn't really like the whole the tattoos and the grill and all that shit that he had going on.
I think they were trash talking him more than just his appearance. I think they were talking about his performance altogether. Like they stated that he was, man, we got to get his name. Let me freaking get his name. I hate calling him he or that guy, this Joker, Suicide Squad Joker, Joker from Suicide Squad. Who actor? Okay. Jared Leto. Fuck.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. Okay, I think Jared Leto was just. I feel he was been mistreated as the character, or how the character is being portrayed, or how people are just like blaming him for like most of his roles as a Joker.
He's considered the worst Joker of all time.
Yeah, so I think
people even preferred Cesar Romero's version of the Joker in the '60s than to him.
You'll be more fucked up. People would prefer Two-Face from the Schumacher films than him.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. Oh goodness. But back to Heath Ledger. Rest in peace again. By far the best Joker. What are the things that you like about this Heath Ledger Joker? What was about his performances that really had you gravitated towards the other character?
He just did a great job. Like he was believable. You really believe that he was a psychotic mass murderer. And he really, I don't know, he really embodied the character. And what I liked about it too is that Chris and Jonathan Nolan, they got the inspiration from the character from the original Batman in 1940, Joker's first appearance.
Mm-hmm.
That was their motivation for writing the script, was Joker's first appearance in 1940, and so that's why you didn't see Joker have all the gimmicks that he normally has, because they were basing off of the first ever Joker, where he was just like a psychotic killer. And Chris Nolan said that he actually had Heath Ledger read that comic book from 1940, and so yeah, like he just, you could tell that he read the comic book, and he just embodied the 1940s version of the Joker, where he was just like I don't give a fuck, just mass killer. And to me, he stole the movie.
Yeah, he stole the scene. Yeah. In Batman Begins, the characters, for me personally, who stole most of the scenes were Lucius Fox and the guy who played Alfred Pennyworth.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine, yeah. But and I'm sorry, Commissioner Gordon. But in this film, The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger stole the whole movie. I'm gonna have to agree with you. Also and I want to give some credit to Christian Bale, because Christian Bale did a great job. You talk about doing a dual role. He did a great job once again as both Bruce Wayne and Batman. As Bruce Wayne, he was like a complete asshole.
like one of my favorite scenes it's in the beginning of the movie when they at the restaurant, and he has like this hot Russian chick with him.
There's two of them. Oh, I'm sorry. That was part one. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. I know.
No, but in this one, yeah, he brings this hot Russian chick, and he sees Harvey eating dinner with Rachel, and so he starts talking to him and shit, and all of a sudden he just like sees himself at the table, and Harvey's like, should you be like waiting for you to get seated? So, oh no, I can sit wherever I want. I own the place.
Or if I don't own it, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy
Yeah.
it tonight.
Well,
So
that's what he did in the first one. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'll just buy it. I don't give a fuck. Just
yeah,
so I can swim in the pool.
yeah, you know what? And then I'm gonna change the rules and regulations with the no swimming policy.
Yeah.
No,
And
that's
then like
awesome.
even
But see, I respect that though, but see, the reason why he does do that is because, of course, to hide his identity as
Batman.
like this be Batman and everything. But he does it in front of Rachel, not as disrespect, but Rachel already knows. It's like, oh, Rachel's like, yeah, I know what he's doing. It's like he's trying to like hide his secret identity.
Yeah, because like, he's so much of an asshole that nobody will ever think that okay, this guy's fucking Batman.
Like he's a righteous, like self-righteousness guy, right? Or right.
Yeah, like, he threw Harvey a fundraiser party just to throw it into his face that he has more money than Harvey does. And even Rachel's like, Bruce, this is unnecessary. Like, why? Like, I know you. Like, why you got to do this?
You know,
like,
that's so crazy that you mentioned that one scene with him and Harvey, and this is supposed to be like his house, right? Bruce Wayne's house, or like up in the penthouse, right? Was this Bruce Wayne's house in the penthouse?
Well, yeah. Remember, he's living in the penthouse because in Batman Begins, Ra's al Ghul burnt down the Wayne Manor.
This actually reminds me of a scene in Batman Telltales. He does the same exact thing, but he does it in his own mansion. But he throws a party for Harvey, but he invests in his own money to get all these other rich people to help sponsor his Harvey Dent's campaign.
Yeah, and then
I mean, you should play Telltales. Batman Telltales.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he does a good job playing Bruce Wayne. He also in the meeting at Wayne Enterprises, like he's falling asleep, and so because he doesn't take his own business seriously, like everybody's we need to do something. Like the one guy, the snitch, he's like this is a bad look for the company. Like we gotta find a way to get him to sell the company because like he can't be falling asleep in meetings and shit. And then Lucius Fox like, well, his father gave him the company when he was a kid, and
you do the best.
If he wants to, it's like if he wants to fall asleep, let him fall asleep.
Lucius Fox, everybody. Morgan Freeman, everybody. How's it going, Mr. Morgan Freeman?
I want you make yourself useless and go count the money. We don't want Wayne to run out of his trust fund. Do the inquiry.
If they ever cast like a younger Lucius Fox, you should definitely play him. You're gonna be a little bit more, thicker than him. Like, hey, nowadays they think everything.
It's like Deadpool. It's like, yeah, man, it's always been my dream to be a superhero, but they discriminate against plus size.
Are you talking about the black kid?
Yeah, the kid. That's what he told Deadpool's like, yeah, it's always been my dream. I want to be a superhero, but I could never be a superhero. And Deadpool's like, why? If that's your dream, man, you should do it because it discriminates against plus size people.
Hey, but the kid got the role, right?
Yeah.
That kid was good. I love that kid. Oh.
But yeah, and then Bruce, another dick move that he did was that they went to go see the Russian opera, and he took the whole entire all the Russian girls. He took them to the Bahamas with him or something.
He canceled the show.
Yeah, because he took the whole.
That is,
took the whole cast.
Let's say you did some you bought some pre-sale tickets, right? To a
Yeah,
freaking show, and they cost you almost $1,000 because these Russian ballet. What is it, ballet?
yeah.
Or was it opera or ballet? It was
It was like a
ballet,
ballet.
like ballet. Yeah. So imagine you're like these noblemen who purchased like $1,000 worth of tickets, front row seat, and you know how expensive those tickets are. Expensive. Those ballet concert tickets are very expensive. So imagine having to like, you know, purchase it on, like pre-sale and, purchase it right before everybody else, knowing that Bruce Wayne canceled the whole entire thing. I'll be fucked up. It's like this billionaire, I hate them.
But he's such a dick.
Yeah,
Or just imagine being the person that like bought those tickets like months in advance. Like you saved up your hard earned money to buy these tickets, only for him to cancel the show to take the whole entire opera on a
yeah,
on a vacation
yeah.
because he's gonna fuck all the girls.
What
And it
if you
was
got
funny.
like those like ballet dancers number, and you're supposed to like hook up with them and go on a date with them next week? You know, what, Bruce Wayne, and you find out that Bruce Wayne like takes all of them to like his private boat, his yacht.
And then it'd be like Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's like, I already hit it. It was funny too because like out the airplane when the plane came for him to go to China, and then Bruce is like, Alfred, are you sure you're gonna be able to handle this? He's like, are you kidding me? You can put your own goddamn sunscreen on. I got this.
I've got this, Buster Wayne. I've got this. Michael Caine, man, one of the
Legendary
I have to
actor.
say, like, not only one of the best Alfred Pennyworth incarnations, but
I think
one
he
of
is.
the legendary actors
I would say he is the best Alfred.
for now. I mean, what
Well,
about
I mean,
Alfred
comparing it.
from Batman and Superman?
No, I didn't like Scar.
Scar.
Yeah, that's the guy that plays Scar in Lion King.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons.
Simba, what have you done?
Well, I mean, I'll take it back. Jeremy Irons, he was okay, Alfred. I just didn't like the casting only because him and Ben Affleck are only like 10 years apart in age. I feel like if you're gonna have an older Batman, you should have like an older Alfred. Like Alfred raised Bruce. Like you can't be like 10 years apart.
Right. Well, maybe it was a younger Alfred at the time,
But then Bruce is like in his 40s,
and this Alfred's like what, in his 60s?
like 60s or 50s.
Okay. Jeremy Irons also played Scar, Alfred, and
Ozymandias.
Ozymandias. Did you like him as Ozzy?
Yeah, if he actually fit an older Ozymandias. Like he played the character pretty well. And then like Michael Gough, his version of Alfred, rest in peace to him, but his version of Alfred was just dumb.
Right. You're talking about
Especially,
the Nolan and Tim Burton films, right?
no, the Schumacher Burton films.
I'm sorry, not the Nolan, Schumacher Burton films. Yeah.
Yeah, especially Batman Forever. He was just so fucking stupid. Like Bruce is on the date with I forgot her name in the movie, but Nicole Kidman's character. And then like Alfred calls, and they have like a little like they're like FaceTiming on the watch, like before you could FaceTime on the watch like 20 years earlier. And so like he's on the speakerphone, Nicole Kidman is sitting there, and then Alfred's like, Master Wayne, we have a problem. Master Dick took the car. He said, what car? The Bentley? No, the other car.
The Royce.
The Rolls Royce? No, the other car.
Hey, that movie was beyond its time because they have the iWatch.
Yeah, so that I watched 20 years before it even came out.
The iWatch, the first iWatch, bro.
But he was just so dumb. Like, no, the other car. And if I know Cole Kidman, like, what other car is he talking
What?
about?
How many cars do you have,
Yeah.
Bruce? It's just like,
Or
what?
in the first Batman, like he Vicky Val, he just brings the bitch on down to the Batcave, and Bruce is looking at him like, what the fuck? Like, this supposed to be a secret between you and I. Like, why are you bringing this bitch down here?
You know, if this was like a continued universe, and if I was Alfred Pennyworth in those times, I'd be like Bruce Wayne and his plastic surgery. First, he looked like Michael Keaton.
Then he looked like Val
Then he
Kilmer.
looked Val Kilmer, and now he looks like George Clooney.
For some reason, he just keeps getting younger and younger.
It's not plastic surgery, bro. If you're a billionaire playboy, you can afford it.
Yeah, a billionaire playboy that adopts 25-year-olds, 25-year-old men.
What about the time when Alfred said, um, shall I prepare something before you go, sir? I'll take you to go. I'll cancel the pizza then.
I know. I like in Batman Forever. It's like, I'll get drive-through.
I'll get drive-through. I'll cancel the pizza then. Oh, that's crazy.
But you guys treat Uncle Alfred like he's a slave.
Bro, are we talking about the Nolan films, or are we still bashing on the Batman and Robin films?
No, we're talking about like who's the best Alfred. I said Michael Caine's the best Alfred, but then but I was like, Jeremy Irons, he was okay. I guess it make him like the second best Alfred, but I think Michael Gall so far, and as far as the film version, he's like the worst. Cause he was just so so dumb. This man doesn't know how to keep a secret.
Well, in this new incarnation of Alfred, we're going to have Andy Serkis, of course, playing a younger Alfred. He's going to be like an Alfred around his early 50s, right?
Which makes sense because this Batman is supposed to be in his early 30s.
Right. This is like this Batman, our new Batman, with the guy that you've been shitting on this past couple of years, Patterson, will be. I guess it's a younger it's going to be a younger Batman, so it's going to
be a year one Batman.
Yeah, I said that, bro.
Yeah, but you're having a hard time spitting it out. Just helping you out, helping you get the words out.
Year one Batman. Anything else you wanted to conclude with our Batman? The Dark Knight.
Well, yeah, the Dark Knight review. So yeah, so like we said before, I can't really find any faults in this movie. I agree. I think it's one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. Like I said before, what's so great about this movie is that unlike most comic films, it doesn't feel like a comic film. It just feels like a cop drama or a psychological thriller that just happens to have Batman in it. It kind of reminded me, rewatching this, it kind of reminded me of the Joker. Like the Joker, it doesn't feel like a comic film. It feels like a psychological thriller that just happens to have comic book characters in it. But there's no point in time where you feel like you're watching a comic film.
And what I like about Chris Nolan's films is the fact that, he when it comes to his Batman films, he does use a lot of special effects towards his film, but he likes to
Chris Nolan's one of the few directors that does not like special effects. He'll use the special effects if he has to.
Well, if he really needs to, but if you think about it, there's a lot of special effects on his films, like the Scarecrow scenes. That's a lot of CGI effects. Even the Batmobile, he uses a lot of CGI. He uses little toy models, not toy models, but little models, of course, to create more of that authentic, practical feel to it. But at times when the Batmobile does stunts and stuff, he's going to have to use CGI for a lot of the stunts.
Well, not necessarily, because on the scene where where the Batman's chasing Joker all over Chicago, and he flips the 18-wheeler. That was real.
No, I'm sorry, not the Dark Knight. I'm talking about Batman Begins when the Batmobile was like jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
Oh yeah.
That was definitely CGI. But he does use he uses yeah, of course, the in the Dark Knight when he was chasing the Joker. Yeah, that scene was real. But
Yeah,
there are a lot of
even when he's riding the motorcycle through the mall,
well, that
like
one
that's when Batman just stopped giving a fuck. He
that's
didn't
like
care who was
half
put in
and
danger.
half right there. That's like half and half CGI, half and half practical, practical effects.
No, that whole scene was real. Did you watch the behind the scenes?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
they had like a stunt crew.
Maybe I'm comparing it to like when Catwoman was writing it.
That's the next reveal we'll do.
Next review.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
finish up the
man.
trilogy.
But overall, I love this film.
Yeah, and then with the thing for me though is just like the way this movie was written. It makes it. I don't know. I don't want to say it makes it hard for me to watch other like comic films, but it just I don't know. It just like separates itself. Like it's just different than any other comic book movie that's came out before or after. And then reading up on it and researching it, I was actually surprised, but actually happy that they took the inspiration of this movie from the 1940 Batman comic book. So they went like way back as far as like source material. Because
Yeah.
like normally they take like comic books like came out like the recent like last like 30 years or something. Like the new one's gonna be like the last Halloween. Dark Knight Rises pretty much No Man's Land. But for Dark Knight, they went all the way back to 1940 Batman, which actually fits this universe the way they portrayed the Joker as like a real life killer.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the legacy of this film, and that is that this movie, as I've said, it was voted as the greatest superhero movie of all time. It was also voted the greatest movie of the decade of the 2000s, and it was voted the 15th greatest movie ever made. So do you agree that like this movie it was the best movie? But let's start from the beginning. Do you agree this is the best superhero movie ever made?
Mm, for its time,
Not
or
for its time, just like ever. Like
ever,
it was yeah, the movie critics have voted this movie the greatest superhero movie ever made.
I'll say this: this is by far the best Batman film I've ever seen. Overall, on all, even in comparison to Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, this is still the best Batman film ever. So like solo film ever made. As far as the greatest superhero film of all time ever made, yeah, I can put it up there. I'm kind of like trying to compare it to Captain America's Winter Soldier and Civil War and Endgame. But from its ranks, I would say written the way it's written and shot. I mean, even the beginning part, like the introduction of the Joker, like that alone just stole that whole entire scene. So yeah, if Joker wasn't in here, if Joker wasn't in this film, I probably wouldn't rate this number one. But because Heath Ledger did such a good job portraying the Joker role, I would say the best Joker ever, incarnated. I would say this would be the best film. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the critics. I think this is the best superhero movie ever made. Only because if you compare it to all the other superhero movies, whether it be the MCU, the Tim Burton, Schumacher, Batman's, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, the Amazing Spider-Man series, whether it be the new Spider-Man or the 1970s Superman, I can't think of any superhero movie that's better than this one. Even I know I get what you're saying about Heath Ledger, but I feel like even if he wasn't Joker, the movie was so well written that I can't think of any other superhero movie that's better than this one. Like this one just tops it for me.
I think this tops it because of Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, if we took out the Joker in this film, it would be a totally different film. So it'd be hard to compare it. You know, it'd be hard to tell if this would be, you know, the number one superhero film of all time. I think it's just Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker.
Yeah, but see, you're going like hypothetical. Like Joker is in this movie, so we're just going off of what we have.
Yeah, of course. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying if
it's like saying like no Avengers. What's that? Not Endgame, but the one that came before that.
Civil War.
Yeah, no, not Civil War. Civil War.
Infinity Gauntlet. Infinity War.
Yeah, that's like saying Avengers Infinity Wars wouldn't be as good if Thor wasn't in it. But like,
No,
Thor is in it, so.
Actually, no, it wouldn't be good if Thanos wasn't in it.
I'm not Thor. I mean, yeah, Thanos.
Because Thanos actually still. This was a Thanos film. This movie was all about Thanos, man, and then all the other superheroes were like.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Though, like that's like saying like the movie wouldn't be as good without Thanos, but Thanos is in it, so you just going by what you have.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just saying, it's just that the Joker did so well in this film. He stole most of the scenes. I was so invested in, like, the Joker, you know, being in here, because everyone wanted to see what Heath Ledger's like performance would be like, you know, and there were a lot of skeptics out there. I think I was probably one of them at one point because, you know, I was comparing his acting chops to like him being in like teen films and like films like what is it? The Last Night?
Brokeback Mountain.
No, there was also it The Last Night? Something about the night. He was like a
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Was it The Last Night or the Night's Tale? A Night's Tale. Yeah, a Night's Tale.
And he was Billy Bob Thornton's.
That's where. What is it?
He was Billy Bob Thornton's son in Monsters Balls.
Yeah, but see, I didn't even watch that film after.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, I saw that.
We watched it in college.
You know, but The Dark Knight was the first film I saw before I saw.
Yeah.
So
I think we watched it for the first time. Yeah, because it was your first time watching it, and when Joe had us watch it in college.
Yeah, it was the first time. Yeah.
I still don't know why he has watched that movie. Like, I don't get why he wanted us to study it. Like, what was so significant about that movie that we had to watch it in class?
We just want to see Halle Berry
get fucked.
Hey guys, so this is a great movie. I spent a lot of time watching this movie. There's this one best scene that I had to rewind and play. As a matter of fact, I actually
the way she writes that dick, that's the reason why she won the Oscar for this movie. That is an Oscar-winning dick ride right there.
People are still arguing if that was a real scene or not, or if that was like, you know.
Actually, I think they were really fucking because you could hear the ball slapping in that movie. I was like, damn, like Billy Bob's like tearing this shit up.
Man, only you'd be like looking for like ball slapping in the movie.
You can hear it. You can hear it. That's what I was like. Oh, like, because I remember.
Are you sure that wasn't her like her thighs like hitting his thighs?
I don't know, but I just remember watching it in class, and I'm like, this shit looks real. Like, are we really supposed to be watching this right now? Like, what if Lisa walks in?
Wait, didn't she walk in during the sex scene?
I don't think so.
Like because I just swore she was like. So I was just, hi Joe. So I was just, whoa, okay.
Make me feel good. Make me feel good.
And he had us watching the projector.
Yeah.
So, it's a projector with like, because we didn't have like a big screen, so we had to watch it through a projector and everything.
On the wall.
On the walls and shit. And like, I don't know, man. The volume of that film was pretty loud. So I don't know if like the other classrooms were hearing what we were listening to.
The other class was like, are they watching porn?
Like, what the fuck? What class is that? And how do I how do I get in?
So I want to be in Joe's class.
Watch porn all day.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny if we actually, if Game of Thrones was out around at the time. I don't know if it was, or if it was as popular.
I think maybe the first season came out.
Maybe the first season, but we were nobody was.
It wasn't
not
all
too
that
many
popular
people-
yet.
Yeah, it wasn't popular yet, and we didn't all have HBO. Well, maybe you did, but I didn't.
No,
No, you did.
No, I didn't.
Your uncle won't even turn on the clocks.
Yeah.
So if your uncle can't even turn on the clocks in the house,
Nah, we definitely didn't have cable.
definitely didn't have cable.
We were still using antennas. Yeah.
No, but imagine like Game of Thrones was popular and just watching the first season of Joe's class. That would have been funny because, there's a lot of sex scenes in there.
Especially a lot of sex and a lot of incest.
A lot of incest. Yeah. So, I don't really know. There's not much to say for the Dark Knight in my part. I mean,
we were talking about the critics. So yeah, I agree with the critics. So I think this is the best superhero movie ever made. Like I can't just thinking about all the superhero movies I've watched. I can't think of anyone that's better. Now for Batman and Robin, that was voted the worst. And I think you and I both can agree that there's probably superhero movies that are worse than that.
Yeah, I could definitely name a few. Okay, so it's not the worst film ever made.
But it was voted the worst. But but Dark Knight.
I haven't seen the films I've seen.
Yeah, maybe
Fantastic Four, Captain America.
Yeah, maybe you should be a movie critic and have a vote.
Yeah.
So for as far as Dark Knight, I definitely agree that it was the best superhero movie that I've ever seen. And then it was also voted the best movie made in the 2000s. Now that one is hard for me because I gotta think of every movie that came out in the decade of the 2000s to say that it was the best movie. But maybe top 5.
Would it be your top 5? Well, I can name a few right now. I can name a few. There's Gladiator, Russell Crowe, The Patriot. That came out in 2000. The Patriot, Castaway.
I think Dark Knight was definitely better than Castaway.
Okay. That movie, American Psycho. I couldn't enjoy that film.
Well, that's because somebody ruined it for you before you could even watch it.
Yeah. Unbreakable. How about Unbreakable?
I think Dark Knight was better than that movie.
Okay, I agree. There's also Remember the Titans?
I'll say Dark Knight's better than that too.
Okay.
See, so far you've named like all the movies that came out in the year 2000. They're talking about the entire decade of 2000.
Well, yeah, I'm just naming a few.
So just going year by year?
Year by year, yeah.
Okay, so because that was 2000. So what about 2001?
Well, 2001. Let's see, 2001. Harry Potter.
I think Dark Knight was better than that.
See, that's not fair because you're not a Harry Potter fan. Oh, Lord of the Rings, the first one, The Fellowship of the Ring. That's hard.
Yeah, actually, I like the Lord of the Rings too. I like all 3 of them.
I'm talking about the first one though, Fellowship of the Ring. If you'd have compared that,
I think Dark Knight's better.
Wow.
Because, even in the trilogy, though, I think the second one, The Two Towers, is the best.
I thought the Twin Towers was the best out of all of them. The Return of the King was good, but the Twin Towers was definitely the best. You know what?
Return of the King is good, but to me it was like the worst out of the 3. And I was surprised that out of all 3 movies, that's the one that won the Oscar.
I thought the talking trees were pretty boring for me.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like I was surprised. Like out of all the movies, like that was the one that won the Oscar. The first two weren't even nominated, but the third one, like, just got like 12 Oscars off that one movie.
There's also the Fast and the Furious, the very first one.
Yeah, that's, Dark Knight. That's not even close.
That's a guilt. Well, I'm not gonna call that a guilty pleasure because a lot of people like the Fast and Furious franchise. And there's Training Day. What about Training Day? That's a good film.
Yeah, see that to me, I'll say it's probably close.
Your top 5? Training Day on your top 5 or top 10?
Well, see, that's the thing though, because like I'm trying to think of every movie that I saw in the entire decade of 2000. So I'll be from the year 2000 all the way into 2009, and so they're calling The Dark Knight the best movie of that decade. And as I said, it's hard for me to say that because I'm not sure if it's the best movie of the decade.
Let's do that then. Next podcast, let's do a from a 2010, your top 10 to top 5 best, most favorite film that you would rank. The Dark Knight.
From that decade.
From that decade, from 2000 to 2010, we'll rank our best. I don't know if you want to do a top 5 or a top 10. I think a top 10 would be suffice because there's just so many films for that decade.
Yeah, see, for the decade of the 2000s, The Dark Knight was number 1, and then Disney's WALL-E was number 2. And WALL-E was pretty good.
No.
But I don't know if it was the second best movie of the decade.
We would have to have our personal vote on it. So you make your list. I think we should definitely talk about it in the next.
Okay.
So just
wait, hold on.
Because everyone's top 10 is going to be completely different.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like that means for us to do it, that we will like literally have to watch every movie made in that decade.
I'm bro.
How can you make a list?
How can you make your memory? Dude, bro, you've seen these films more than twice. I'm sure of it. I've seen a lot of these films more than twice, so I'm sure you didn't. There's no way you can forget about like certain parts of the film. I mean, I've even seen a lot of these films more than 3 times or 4 times.
No, but I'm saying like, okay, movies like
that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, how can I say like, this movie is the best movie of the decade when I haven't seen every movie of the decade? There might be a movie out there that I haven't seen.
That
like,
you
for
might
example,
actually...
yeah, like for example, Monsters Balls. Like I know it won an Oscar and everything, but I only seen that movie one time. That's when we were in college, and that was like over 10 years ago. So I'll have to rewatch that movie and then say like, okay, is this one of the top 10 movies of the decade of the 2000s?
There's a lot of films I haven't seen either. I'm already counting 5 that I haven't seen for the decade.
Like right now, I'm looking at number 2 for the decade of the 2000s, and it has WALL-E. I mean, I think I've seen WALL-E maybe one time.
I saw WALL-E one time.
Yeah, I know it's a Disney film.
I don't think I can watch WALL-E a second time just because. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. There's too many fat people in there. Just looking at you.
Fat phobia.
Fat shaping. No, there are. And like everyone there's fat because in that film, like it shows
basically
that
it's saying that
lazy.
like humans got lazy because we rely so much on technology that we don't have to do anything.
Guess what happened? It's pretty much what's happening today.
Yeah.
They were above their time. Disney was like predicting the future already. Yeah, a lot of films I haven't seen, and a lot of films I don't want to see again. There's definitely a lot of films I don't want to see again. Peter Pan. So yeah, I don't know, man. Do you want to do it?
Okay, how about this? I'll look up the list of the top 10 that they have, and then we can watch those 10 movies and see if we agree or disagree.
Okay. All right. Well,
That means we have to watch. That means we have to watch WALL-E again.
You don't have to watch WALL-E again. Bro, is your memory that bad you can't even remember what happened in the film?
Yeah. Like
I would have to say, watch a film that you haven't seen before. I'm sure you can remember a lot of things about like certain films that you've seen before.
Okay, so the top 10 is Memento, another Chris Nolan film.
Oh
Actually,
yes,
I like that movie.
is it the fresh? Is it the Fresh Maker film?
What do you mean?
Mentos, right?
No. It's called Memento. But Memento is one of those movies though. It's like Pulp Fiction. You really have to pay attention because it's out of sequence.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, then you have the Gladiator, which you mentioned.
Oh yes, that's a great film.
The Dark Knight, Pan's Labyrinth. That's actually pretty good.
I've never seen that.
Well, if you like if you like reading subtitles, it's a movie for you because the whole movie's in Italian or something or Spanish.
Italian.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Eternal Sunshine, which is a Jim Carrey movie. I've never seen that one.
I think I've seen that film. Yeah, that's one of like Jim Carrey's. Without any spoilers, it's one of Jim Carrey's like serious. Like it's he's not. He actually plays a serious role.
Okay. Then you have There Will Be Blood.
Oh, that's where the
Yeah, No Country for Old Men.
Never seen that.
I think I've seen it one time. Then you have The Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Saw that a few times.
Almost Famous.
Nah, haven't seen that.
And then everybody's favorite, Mean Girls.
Damn, Mean Girls was top 10 for the decade. Yeah. I actually liked that film. I saw Mean Girls three times.
The movie came out when I was in high school. And I think the reason why everybody liked it, especially in my high school, is because that's exactly how high school was. So like we all can relate to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, out of all those movies, the only one I've never seen is Eternal Sunshine and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Almost Famous I never heard of.
I had a crush on Lindsay Lohan at the time when she was in Mean Girls.
Yeah, that's before she became a drug addict.
Yeah. Before she got into all this shit.
No, now she's like 34, but looks like she's 50.
That sucks. She's like 34 and she looks older than me.
Yeah. All them drugs. All those drugs.
She looks like she could be my auntie.
Yeah.
It's like... God.
And then The Dark Knight was also voted the 15th greatest movie ever made, which is another tough one.
Overall.
Like in the history of film, this movie was voted 15th greatest movie ever made. Since cameras were invented.
Since Arnold Schwarzenegger Hercules.
No. Going all the way back to like the 1800s.
Goodness gracious.
Like Charlie Chaplin. Yeah. Those silent films. So going all the way back, they said Dark Knight's the 15th greatest movie ever made.
That is crazy.
Like a lot of Siskel and Ebert back in the day gave this movie a perfect 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, and those are real critics, right?
Yeah. No, the late great Siskel and Ebert.
But then again, everybody's a critic.
Well, see, nowadays, back then, you had to be somebody to be a critic. Now all these jabronis like us, you get on a podcast and be movie critics.
Anybody can be a critic. Yeah. No, but it's only fair because, to each his own, right? Everyone has their own taste. They're not always going to have to agree to what you want or think, films are just, all films are subjective. So
yeah. Well, but I'm just saying, no, like, if you think about it, like Cisco and Ebert, they had like the best job. They get paid to watch movies and talk shit about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was their job.
They get paid to watch movies and talk shit. Yeah, that is the best job. Actually, I don't know if that is the best job, bro. I think the best job is to get paid traveling in unique places to try exotic foods.
Yeah, but the person that had that job committed suicide, so it couldn't be that great of a job.
Or you can easily get the coronavirus from that job too,
Yeah, because you're doing a lot of traveling.
because you're doing a lot of traveling.
So Cisco and Ebert, they just got to watch movies before they came out, and then they gave their criticism about it. They gave their critique about it.
You know, a movie really has to be horrible for you to commit suicide after watching it.
Yeah.
Man, this movie's so bad. I can't take it no more. I'm gonna shoot myself.
Nah, it reminds me of that critic, that wrestling critic that we talked about when we did the WrestleMania 2 review, because he was bitching about how, like, you know, having to rewatch WrestleMania 2 was like the worst 3 hours of his life that he can never get back. And me and you were like, bro, you get paid to rewatch old wrestling.
Yeah.
Talk shit about it.
You should have left a message like, bro, if you don't want your job, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Shit.
Like, he probably sounds so like, fuck. I had to rewatch WrestleMania 2. I can't take this shit anymore. I just want to end it all.
There's like 3 hours of my life I can't get back, bro. I've had more than 3 hours of my life that I can't take back, and I'm not complaining.
Like, he probably wanted to kill himself when he got that assignment from his boss. Like, okay, we want you to rewatch all 36 WrestleManias.
What?
Fuck.
What? That's not real wrestling. Oh. Anything else you wanted to conclude to this review of one of the best superhero films that we've both established, The Dark Knight?
Well, according to Cisco and Ebert and Rotten Tomatoes, is one of the best movies ever made.
Now, what would you rate this film? Are we doing 1 out of 10, 5 out of 10, or best out of 5 stars, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to do 1 out of 10, I'll give it a perfect 10 out of 10.
Perfect 10 out of 10. I'll definitely give this I'll give this a 10.5 out of 10.
So you can go over the scale.
I'm gonna go right over the scale. You know what? There's no scale. The scale's broken.
Both Cisco and Ebert are rolling in their graves right now.
You know what? If this film, if there was like a scale and it's based on the weight of the film, I think the scale would be broken.
That's impossible though, because it's only the 15th greatest movie ever made. So to break the scale, no, it has the number 1 movie ever made has to break the scale. Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen those 15 films, so.
You gotta go watch some of that silent Charlie Chaplin movies, so silent films.
What?
I can't hear. Why aren't they talking?
Gosh, imagine watching The Dark Knight with no sound. You're watching in subtitles.
No, imagine like somebody built a time machine,
mm-hmm.
and they took somebody from 1890 and brought them to 2020 to watch movies, and they'd be confused. Like, wait, why are they talking in this movie? You're not supposed to talk in movies.
Yeah.
Why is there dialogue?
It's too loud. It's too loud. What the fuck, my ears? No, if they're so used to silent, if they're so used to silent and just no audio through film, I think they'll start freaking out that there's sound, because then deal with this explosions, the gunshots, because it's a surround sound, they would think it's behind, what the fuck? Who's shooting at us right now?
I think back then the reason why they had silent movies because there was no the microphone wasn't invented yet.
Right.
So everything was just weird. Like I've seen some Charlie Chaplin movies and
Could you watch it?
it's just weird.
But are you able to watch it though?
Yeah, but I'm just
So,
saying though, it's weird. It's a weird experience.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
could imagine like somebody from that time period coming to our time period, watching movies with sound, it would probably like freak them out.
You know what's even more weird? They have like cinemas for porno, so people can pay and watch porno.
Well, back in the day before there was internet, like you had to go to a movie theater to watch porno.
Yeah, no.
And I thought that was weird too. Why you
Like,
have like all these people jacking off in one area?
no, but would you really jack off if, like, right? You're right next to like this
That's like the
greasy
whole
old man.
point. That's like the whole point of watching porn. Like, who watches porn for the storyline? No.
Oh yeah. Hey, imagine Cisco Eastman had to like watch every porn that was that was played in the theaters and have to critique it.
Yeah. So big black booties. Four.
Have to be black booties.
Interracial lesbians was such a great storyline. No, the way these two women fell in love interracially, which led to them fucking. It was just such a beautiful thing, especially when the white girl put on the strap on and fucked the black girl. It had to be by far one of the top 10 greatest sex scenes in porno history.
Yeah, I like this film. From the beginning, there was an erection. From the middle, there was an explosion, and everybody's happy.
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars. And then there was the penetration.
Yeah, and then he just slapped her titties around and peed white stuff.
I don't know. I don't think he'd say Pete White stuff, bro.
Yeah, that's some South Park Cartman.
All right. Well,
That,
anything else you want to say about the Dark Knight?
well, as far as the movie itself, I don't want to get too deep into it because some of it actually ties into the next one, Dark Knight Rises, which we'll be doing a review sometime later. I promise it won't take a year this time. But yeah, like the storyline between like Two-Face, we kind of talked about it earlier, how originally he was supposed to be the villain in Dark Knight Rises, but then for whatever reason Chris Nolan changed his mind and decided to go in a different direction.
You know what? I would have thought that maybe Two-Face being like the main villain for the third installment would be very interesting, because then this brings like Two-Face like taking over the mob, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. And it's crazy because he becomes like the White Knight of Gotham, and then of course that famous line, "Die a hero or live long enough to find yourself to become a villain."
Oh yeah, speaking of that, you watched the little anime series that came out prior to this movie, which filled in the gaps between Batman Begins and Dark Knight.
Oh, Gotham.
It's called Gotham Knights or something like that.
Gotham Knights.
It's like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. To me, that was like one of the best miniseries because like it not only did it fill in the gaps, but then one of the things that Chris Nolan did in this movie that I noticed rewatching it is that he never really explained who these mobsters.
The mobsters, yeah.
The mobsters. He never really explained who the mobsters are. Like Maroni. Well, Falcone was Falcone. I think he died in Batman Begins. But like Maroni like takes over the Falcone mob, and then you have the Russians and shit. But like Chris Nolan doesn't explain who these people are because he kind of like assumed that you watched the anime series, which explains all that. So I found that kind of interesting rewatching this movie.
But the crazy thing is that not everybody watched the anime series, or maybe
I know
not everybody did. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But like Chris Nolan, he didn't explain he didn't give these characters a background story because he directed it almost like he assumed like everybody's gonna watch the anime, So I found that kind of interesting. Like these characters, they just show up. Even like Ramirez, who's hot, by the way. She's supposed to be like Ramirez. Her character's supposed to be like Montoya,
Yeah.
but Chris Nolan changed the name to Ramirez.
Yeah, she's Ramirez. She's not Montoya.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, she's hot. But like same thing with her. Like
I think she's alive.
well in the comics, yeah, but not in real life. But but same thing with her. Like she just shows up in the film. They don't really like explain who she is because they explain all that in the anime series. So I just thought, those little things are kind of interesting rewatching the film because like it's almost like Chris Nolan just assumed like, okay, everybody's gonna watch this animated series, and so we don't need to explain all this shit.
Matrix did the same thing. They did a thing called Animatrix.
Yeah, I remember that.
After the sequel and before the third, so it explained like, it was pretty much done after the sequel, but it explains like more about the Matrix and what it's all about and stuff like that. But I think Gotham Knights did well as far as like, because then they also explained what happened to the Scarecrow after Batman Begins. Like,
Yeah,
you see what happens.
and how he was still active.
Yeah.
Which explains why he was like,
he was
selling drugs. He was selling drugs in the beginning.
Yeah. Coolio. Coolio's Dr. Crane.
Hey, what did you do to my?
Just ask you to trip you out, motherfucker. I don't think Coolio talks like that. I'm just
my drugs will take you onto a gangster's paradise.
Yeah. It's gonna take you to the next valley of the shadow of death.
But I'm surprised though that they didn't do the animated series to fill in the gaps between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Because you know why? I don't think because Gotham Knights wasn't popularized. I guess not too many people liked it. Even people who watched it didn't like it.
I loved it.
You and I are one of the few percenters that actually love that film. Maybe some people don't like animated films. Who knows? Or maybe they don't like the whole like
it was only like 5 episodes though.
Yeah, but the fact that it's like some people don't like
it kind of reminded me of
you know what I mean?
Like it reminded me of the original Clone Wars. Like they had that little like mini series to fill in the gaps between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
The 2D version, right? Not
it was like maybe like 5 or 6 episodes, and they showed them, and it came out in between like episodes 2 and 3 to kind of fill in the gaps.
That shit was crappy though. I couldn't.
Well, it was made by the same people as Samurai Jack.
But I didn't like it.
I liked it. I liked it, but then when you watch the 3D version, because it goes more in depth, it's better.
It's much better. Yeah, I think that 2D like the little mini series of Clone Wars kind of turned me off into getting Clone Wars. This is probably the reason why it took me a long time to finish mostly all seasons of Clone Wars, except for the new one that came out on Disney Plus. But this is what made me reluctant. Like, it took me a long time to get into it because of that mini series.
So you didn't like the Samurai Jack Anakin?
I liked Samurai Jack, but I didn't like how Anakin sounded. Like, Obi-Wan, what should we do, Obi-Wan? He sounded like he was whining the whole entire time.
He whines in the movies.
Huh?
I said he whines in the movies.
No, but he sounds better in Clone Wars. You can see like the growth in Anakin Skywalker. I like Anakin Skywalker better in Clone Wars than I like him in the movie.
Yeah, they gave him more character depth in the cartoon.
Right. More lines, better. I guess better writing.
Better dialogue.
Better dialogue.
No, it's better. It's better than I hate sand.
It gets everywhere.
Yeah. I rewatched that movie. I'm thinking like who says that to get pussy? That's like the worst game I've ever heard in my life. But it worked because he got the girl.
It's not soft. Get crescents.
He's like, I hate politicians, except for you, Padme. It's like, what the fuck?
Like a dictatorship. Who's gonna take over? You? Maybe someone, me, or someone of higher power.
He wasn't British. He's Canadian.
I don't know. He sounded British. Nah, he is British, bro. He's been hanging out with Obi-Wan Kenobi for a very long
I'm
time.
saying, yeah, but Hayden Christian, he's Canadian. He's not British.
No, but he had a British accent because he was with Kenobi. The whole you notice, like he had an American accent when he was a child, and then all of a sudden he has like an accent.
It's like,
Hey, son.
it's like I killed the Sand people because I hate them.
Every last one of them. the, the women and the children too.
And then like Padme was weird too, because like she was looking at him like, I know what you did is wrong, but for some reason I just want to fuck you. It's like,
The bad boy in you just made you hot right now. It's making me hot.
like, yeah, fuck the Sand people.
Wait, are we talking about Star Wars now?
We kind of just did, yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, that's our review. Like I said, we will do Dark Knight Rises sometime in the near future. I promise you guys, we won't take a year like we did with Dark Knight. And we'll probably at some point we'll probably do what Romeo said, which is like, I don't know, maybe watch the top 10 movies of the 2000s and rank them. Oh, he was just kidding. Just kidding.
I don't think I want to watch all 10 films. Well,
Yeah,
we are in quarantine,
Mean
so
Girls.
it's not like we have anything else to do.
Yeah, Mean Girls killed it for you, huh?
Well, I still like Mean Girls. I saw Mean Girls just a month ago again on I don't know if it was on Netflix or Hulu or something, but it was still entertaining. It's I don't know.
The funny thing about Mean Girls is that the chick that plays Regina is like 28 in that movie. She's like 28 when the movie was made. She was like 28, but she's acting like she's like 16.
Have you seen the before and after with these girls? Every one of these girls still look good except for
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan is the only one that didn't age well, of course.
The drugs.
Yeah.
Even though I did have a crush on
the blonde girl.
No, the brunette.
Oh yeah. What is she? Is she like Hispanic, black?
I have no idea. I don't even know her name. Back then there was no Google, so I didn't get a chance to look her up. Yeah. But I just know that back then I had a crush on her.
Yeah. Yeah, she was cute.
She's one of the few white women that I like.
Yeah, poor Lindsay Lohan.
I mean, she's not that poor.
Well, I mean, what a waste. So I guess there you have it, our review to The Dark Knight. And if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? So, like, go watch it.
Yeah, one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, according to Siskel. According to the late great Siskel and Ebert.
Also, a
movie's good if Siskel and Ebert gives it 5 stars out of 5 stars. Like they rarely give anything 5 stars out of 5 stars.
Yeah. I've never heard anything so positive about a film from them ever.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to recommend a game for all you people who are in quarantine. It's called Shadow of the Colossus. Check it out. You can get it in the PS4, of course.
What about for Xbox users?
I'm not sure. Maybe you can get it in the Xbox as well. But because I have a PS4, for all the PS4 players out there, get Shadow of the Colossus. If you can find it on the Xbox, go get an Xbox. It's a very fun game.
All right, and then for all you documentary heads out there, check out the Last Dance about the '98 Chicago Bulls. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so social media, you can find us on Facebook at SoloAnt, on Tumblr at SoloAnt1, at Instagram at SoloAnt2020. You can find me on Instagram at ExpectedAnt, and on Twitter at ExpectedAnt. And you can find our podcast on all streaming services. We're everywhere now. And also to shout out to Carl and shout out to Bertha.
And then you can
Bertha,
find me.
yeah, Bertha had liked her Batman and Robin review, and
Bertha.
yeah, she's actually local. She lives out in L.A. She's a huge L.A. Rams and L.A. Dodgers fan, and she shouted us out on Twitter. She like I said, she really liked the Batman and Robin review so much that she retweeted it. So you can actually listen to the Batman and Robin review on her page.
I want a car. Chicks dig the car. That's why Superman works alone. And then, of course, you can find me, Aubrey Freely _81. You know me, you know me.
Because I'm not wearing hockey pads.
And that's it.
Oh, and my dog just made an appearance. Peace.